Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat
some strategy work. We never come there and tell you, always come there for the man.
Why?
So, because we knew he was on our side a long time ago. It was clear. We knew he was on our side. And he is my uncle, my mother's uncle. So I was always tell him that he should come out and show his hand. He has come out to show his hands. And we know our number stays 29. So anytime they were reporting, he was telling I say, just stop this thing. We are 29. And guess what? Tomorrow, and next week, you're going to see us playing from 30 to 31.
And covering your tracks. For example, I will just point out very quickly, sharing money to ministers in the early days. Sharing cash to ministers in the early days.
What does that mean when you say sharing cash? What does that mean?
I'll tell you. I wrote down 5 occasions when finance came to my office with money in envelope and telling me, say, minister, say, you want everybody to get something. I was sitting one year, the 4th occasion that we received money that was not our salary was the shopping competition situation. There was $100,000 that instruction came from the executive management that should be given to the people who were conducting the shopping competition coming from Mega Budget. How they got the place. It happened in Cape Town. Okay. I don't know whether the money that we received or that we were saving and sharing, that money came from the shopping competition, but my suspicion is that we clear where it came from. So it was around the time that we were having the first cabinet retreat. So I'll just give you a vivid description of what happened. On the first day of the cabinet retreat was the day that the shopping competition was being launched. So Minister Weah was not there at the launch. The second day, he came the second day, but at the end of the second day, there was something like, $5,000. Yeah, I remember that it was Daniel Sando who basically had that money. I think, so they gave 100,000 to, 100,000 was given to, for the saving shopping competition. I think we managed to get $5,000 back. Yes, $100,000 was given from the government towards shopping competition. And Mika managed to get 5,000 out of that money that's supposed to be for media coverage of that. Yeah. So we are sitting there after the second day of the cabinet retreat, and then we are four in that darkness, and we are sharing that money, and we are making budget as to who gets what. We are.
police. On the other side, the anti-Kufa. We are talking to some of them to see reason we can both join and come together in the interest of the Liberian people, instead of them on the other side, and then they have been criticism from the public and from other stakeholders. Because if you want to remove the speaker, it is their right, but it also requires due process. So I mean, the best thing they can do that will be in the interest of them and the country as a whole is to give the speaker a due process.
What I want? Yes, what you about today? Yes, what you about today?
Oh, yes. Thanks a lot for joining us again tonight, folks. It's a great way to welcome you to another edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics of Spoon. I'd like to welcome everyone. Thanks to the many of you joining us across the internet tonight. Thanks to our followers on radio. Those of you joining us via 101.1 Fabric Radio, 107.5 Spoon FM, and the different partner radio stations across the country. We appreciate all of you for joining us here tonight as we talk Liberia, as we bring you the first edition of the late night show for this week. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm Nelson Collier. Kindly share the program as you come on. It doesn't matter where you're joining us from. Please share the show. Let's hope we can have a great conversation here tonight as we bring you the updates, provide you some analysis around those issues across the country, and of course, give you the time where you can get to talk on those different issues of concerns as well. So thanks for joining us tonight. Again, please share the program as you come on. I'm going to go to the comment section and recognize a few of you. But let me bring Anthony Gay on. I see he's here early tonight. I don't know what's behind the early arrival of Anthony Gay. The guy says he's a disruptor. So sometimes it is very intentional when Anthony Gay comes up early. Unusually when he comes up unusually early, then it becomes a very great concern for a lot of the guys. But thanks for joining us tonight. Let me bring Anthony Gay on. Anthony, it's good to have you on the show tonight.
Thank you. I was just on, the other network. Close the argument. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I can't wait for tomorrow, for us to put an end to this whole debacle on Capitol Hill, so we can just put an end to it, and so people can be confused who is the speaker, who's not the speaker, and all of that different thing. Even if you cite the constitutional provision that says we only have one speaker who is fanatical right now, people say, "Oh no, you're a Cuba supporter," all of that different thing. But now, see, I'm excited to be here tonight, and I can't wait for us to have the discussion because the Liberian people have been rescued.
Yeah. It's going to be a great conversation tonight. We're not here long. Let's make the most of the moment we have here because we have a very hectic, coverage ahead. Tomorrow is going to be a very busy day for us here. And but again, we have to come up, at least, serve our people something just before moving on to get rest and get set for the rest of the activity coming up tomorrow. But yes, like you said, Anthony, Liberians across the country are eagerly awaiting what comes up tomorrow. It's going to be a great one with all of what we've seen unfold over the weekend. Let's say late last week, at the very end of last week up to the weekend. And then, getting the week started today, some of what has been in the corridor throughout the day, and moving to tomorrow, which is very important. We're already in the new day here in Liberia, and those of us in Liberia can safely say, we are waiting what happens later today. So yes, like you said, Anthony, is a great one. Let me bring our co-moderator Moba Zokia on. Moba, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Nursing. Mr. Gay, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How yourself, man?
Well, we're hanging in, my man. We can't complain.
but Moba, were you somehow touched by the early appearance of Anthony tonight? Anthony is one of the regular guys.
The only time
Anthony comes up early as he did today, then there's a concern. There's a serious concern.
As I'm saying, you see, anytime Anthony coming on early, like today, you must know that he got something to say. He want to.
Is he about to confuse the Liberian people to increase the number from 1% to 51% come 2029? Is the process
to encourage the people to join former President George Weah tomorrow at the Capitol building, so the number can be huge.
Don't join the gun. It's going to be part of our conversation.
Anthony, let me say this. I come in there. See, let me say this, right? It will come a time we start pushing Mr. Kumi in to get more than that percent. Because the two people we trusted to we handle power to them, they're doing nothing to keep talking for them. You get people stealing, no action, people doing things, nothing. So what?
Moba, no, listen, Moba. There comes a time. No, guys, let's do this. There comes a time when Moba will have to tell the Liberian people where exactly he sits. Who is this Moba? Is this Moba on the left or is he on the right? Is this Moba in the middle, or if he's speaking on the both sides of the I don't know how to put it, but we have to understand who this Moba is. Moba is here tonight telling the Liberian people that he's disenchanted, he's frustrated, he's dissatisfied, and he's very soon going to start pushing for Mr. Kumi to become the next president of the country.
Of course.
Where exactly are we? Where is Moba? But we're going to have a great show tonight. Moba, I intentionally interrupted all of your engagements. Let's move to the comment section and recognize a few of our folks, bring the updates, and then we'll move to the conversation tonight. I see Evangelist Moba Morris is here tonight. Our dear sister Freeman, thanks to all of you for joining us. God favor Sammy B.H.I.E. That name is very long, but thank you for being here tonight. Robert, we appreciate you. Sekou Sharif, Eric McGill, Moses Momolo. Guys, please share the program as you come on tonight. We appreciate if you wish to share the show tonight. We said cheer. Mariah Sando Yunatu, thanks for joining us tonight. Nathaniel K. Hill, Adam Buakai Sharif, William B. Morris, Nathaniel K. Hill, I see you're here twice. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Emmanuel Foley, Philip Bala, Humphrey Jabate is here as well. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Please share the program in a different group chats on your WhatsApp. Moba, I hope you did share. You did share the show.
Yeah. Check it out. Share. I always share.
Let's share the program as we get set to start another show tonight. Look, it's getting very interesting. With the many things happening across the country, Liberians at this point can't hold back but to ask so many questions. And some of the questions that people are asking are obvious. The questions are not strange. The people are asking, where are we? What does the future of Liberia look like? What's exactly going on with the country Liberia? They are asking those questions. They are asking those questions. And of course, you saw the letter from Senator Amara Kane. This is the senator who was at the forefront. He came up with a very great innovation during the 2023 election. Yes, and the war room was set up. I remember visiting that war room to do a broadcast from there when we had him on Spoon. You have a group of young men in that war room, very smart, smart people, some of the best brains in the country, abroad. They were in that war room trying to make things happen. All the computers were busy. Over 200, 300, 500 folders, all in different locations. Everybody putting the data together to get us to where we are today. Yes, he led that particular charge. But after a year, or pretty close to a year of this administration, he did a tic-tac-toe post today. That it was it today. I gotta get the day straight. But he did
I
a
think it was
tic-tac-toe
yesterday, right?
about about a day ago, talking about the year being a wasted year, wasted year, wasted energy, wasted everything. And Henry Costa did another post to back what he said. He said, extremely sad, my brother Amra Conan, and they are
the comments. Yeah, that was the comments.
insensitive. So Liberians are asking, in the midst of everything that's going on, in the midst of everything that's going on up Capitol Hill, Matthew Yemplu is speaking out. Former assistant minister at the Ministry of Information. Those people at the Information Ministry are like the brand ambassadors of the government. The people who are at the forefront when it comes to propagating what the workings of the government are. But one of them is on the other side speaking out, talking about some of the happenings in the government. Well, the government of Liberia, on the other end, is signing an MOU with the government of Egypt to strengthen the fisheries sector. But then while we're talking about this, President George Weah is speaking out. I don't know how many of you, follow that particular engagement, but the president is speaking out. He's blaming everything that's happening on Capitol Hill on the Unity Party government. And according to him, to undermine the democracy of the country is the last thing that will ever happen. And they will not sit and watch it. He thinks that the Unity Party is orchestrating the removal of the speaker. Now, he came in very clear on this one this time around. Former President George Weah. Plus a lot of other issues happening across the country. Liberians are gearing up to know or to see what happens tomorrow up Capitol Hill. As to whether it's going to be another regular day of Capitol Hill where, you will see the majority bloc, the lawmakers with the newly elected Speaker Richard Nagbe-Kun, going to the joint chambers of the legislature to conduct business, or as to whether it's going to be something very unusual. As we speak, there's a huge deployment of state security of Capitol Hill at the grounds of the legislature. And this is where we are. But I want us to start the conversation from here. And let's officially do our opening. In fact, let's move into the conversation because we don't have luxury of time, as I said. We want to make the most of the time we have. Francis, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. I would appreciate if you were to just wipe your screen, your camera, wipe your lens a bit, or yeah.
It's not the lens. I think it's the light from above. The light.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to say. You did a whole new lighting, at your end there. I think Baby J must have told you to do that. So Baby J, I'm a man. I let the way the guy can make Francis too. But it's a great way to welcome everyone to the show tonight. But let's start this whole conversation, Moba, with what's coming from President George Weah. The former president said he's concerned. He's concerned about the country. He's concerned about where Liberia is going as a country. He is very concerned. And at this point, he's blaming the Unity Party government. And I want to read this article here. Okay. So he's blaming the Unity Party government of orchestrating everything that's happening here. He thinks that the Unity Party is behind what is going on up Capitol Hill. The Unity Party want to remove Speaker Kofa. Okay? So the former president is accusing Unity Party government of attempting to undermine Liberia's democracy He says the government is unlawfully attempting to unseat Speaker Kofa. Well, sorry, I want to get this coming in. The former president, George Weah, is at the same time frowning at President Joseph Yuma Boakai for unlawfully unseating, for trying to attempting to unlawfully unseat Speaker Kofa, stating that such act is not a joke, thereby calling on the United Party government to reflect on April 12, 1980. He highlighted his concerns regarding the government's ongoing efforts to unseat the Speaker Kofa, at the House of Representatives. A move he claims threatened the integrity of the country's democracy. So according to him, what is happening is that they want to unseat the Speaker, and this must stop. He stated emphatically, addressing a room full of worshippers, vowing that such will not happen. The former Liberian leader added that Liberia's democracy is something that is not something to be hijacked for political gains, stating that it is the foundation of the nation and it needs to be protected. I want us to start a conversation from here, guys. Is the comment coming from President George Weah a patriotic one? Is it geared towards the protection of the peace, the democracy of the country at this point? Is it right? Now, prior to now, there were concerns that, and there were allegations that President George Weah was behind everything that was going on, that's going on with Councillor Kofa. That Councillor Kofa was becoming so powerful. But this time around, President George Weah is coming back to say that, look, the president, the government is responsible, and they're trying to undermine the democracy of the country. Is there any reason why Liberians across this country and beyond, is there any reason why they should believe what the former president is saying? Are there indications that this government is trying to unseat the current Speaker Kofa? If the government is trying to do so, what are some of those reasons? What are some of the reasons, the basis on which this government will want to unseat Councillor Kofa or have unseated Councillor Kofa? It depends on where you sit, because we have the majority black that have elected Representative Kuhn as Speaker on the other hand. But I want us to start the conversation here with the comment coming from former President George Weah. Let's hear you on this one, more back.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Thank you to my fellow panelists and the listeners. Look, I think the message is right, but the messenger is not a rightful person to carry out there, because we can remember, we all here can remember.
You said the messenger is not right?
Yeah, the messenger, the message.
Former president of the country, Moba. If he's not speaking,
let me give my reason now. The reason is simple. When Joseph Kabila was moved illegally, he was the one who initiated that identical removal of Kabila Jana, and it was unlawful. It was against our constitution. But what happens? So it just showed to us that if you in power, you can do whatever you want to do. If you leave power, that's the time you see the fault. That's the time you see things that is not right. And when you there, you don't see it blunt, or you in when you do it. People keep telling you say it's wrong, because the same thing Joseph Bagana doing, that the same thing Joseph Joria was doing, and Joseph Bagana doing at time. They were saying, oh, they think Joria doing not good, blah blah blah. Money, agency taking money. There are a lot of corruption going on, right? They keep to sell a lot of things, but today they're doing the same thing. We know people who is a beyond talk show. They open their own show. They were all on show talking, but today you're not getting talking. When the same thing they're talking about, I mean, they're talking against Joria for that the same thing they're doing. So that shows to us that, you know, like the entire, so both the ruling party and the former president, right? They're all the same. So I expect.
When you say they're all the same, but let's go into the message. the message, the substance
That's
of
what
the
I'm
message.
saying. The message is good, but the messenger who preaching that message is not a rightful person
But do
to
do
put it
you
out.
is there any reason to agree with him that this government wants to unseat or is trying to unseat or is
That's what I'm
behind
saying.
everything that's happening
Nelson,
at the
I agree with it. I agree with the message, right? If Mr. Kumi come out and say that, I will commend Mr. Kumi for that. Because not tell we test Mr. Kumi with power here. All the people who test we get him, all the people who give him power to, all of them the scenes and saying or somebody talking, the Unity Party people will say, oh, they did it. But nothing about it. That's the reality. They all the same. So the thing talking, he said he did the same thing. So he's not a good messenger for that. They're not message. That's my point.
You know, let me hold you there a bit. And come to Anthony. Anthony, taking a look at everything that's happening here. You look at, you know, what former President George Weah is saying. Is there any reason to believe what he's saying that the current administration wants to unseat, the speaker? Taking up from the point that Moba made just before we went over to you, just before we came over to you. Is he the right messenger?
Nelson, before I speak to that, if he or not the right messenger, let me say this to Moba. I know people make this argument all the time. Oh, Kabinanya were removed illegally and other differently. He was given a due process. The reason they were removed can be debated, but was he given a due process? The answer is yes. In this particular case, Fanati Kofa is denied due process. The lawmakers were the juror in the case of Kabina Janet.
But the lawmaker said, no, I'm coming, Moba. Sorry, Anthony. The lawmaker said they set up a committee. We read the listing of that committee.
What committee? The majority block?
Yeah, the majority block to give the speaker a due process. What do you make of that, Anthony?
Okay.
Isn't that due process?
So let's go back to civics, right? The Constitution, Article 10 says it should be taught throughout the length and breadth of Liberia. So every citizen may have the opportunity to know the Constitution. So that means you don't have to be a lawyer to know the Constitution, right? However, the majority block is in complete error. Why? Article 49 says you must elect your speaker every 6 years, and the speaker shall be the presiding officer. So when you have a resolution, that resolution must be presented to the speaker, and the speaker will recuse himself and become a defendant. They didn't say go form a different group on the side. They didn't say go do that one. That same speaker is the presiding officer. Only him, the Constitution gave that power. Anything short of that, Nelson.
Okay, so based on that, you think that the speaker was not given due process. But I want us to go back to the message from former President George Weah, because we have a lot to unpack tonight. Let's hear a take on the comments. He's saying that this government is on a mission to undermine the democracy of the country. He even went to mention April 12th. Why do you think the former president had to mention April 12th? Wasn't that too, too strong, given the history of the country, given what happened April 12th, how it contributed to the over 1 decade of civil unrest we had in this country?
So Nelson, when the whole saga began, to your credit, it was already out there, and Abda Mame, who is a stone supporter of Joseph Yuma Boaka, put out a post, and I read that post. In that post, he designed a strategy for the CDC led by George Weah to unseat Kofa, because Kofa is the shining star on the hill in the CDC that George Weah don't want no competition, right? And all of that was the narrative of the Unity Party, painting this picture so that Liberian people can believe that, yes, indeed, it was orchestrated by CDC. The speakership is a very crucial position. Yes, CDC may have lost the presidency, but that speakership is holding the administration in check. If Kofa lose the speakership tomorrow, JMB Yellow Machine will be the first in line. That shady deal will become the real deal. And every other thing else will start happening because they will have no hiccup, politically speaking. So, right now, it has backfired. If this majority black does not succeed tomorrow to do what they wanted to do to remove Kofa, everything will turn against them, including this administration.
But
let's President Weah, politically speaking, he's right that this thing was orchestrated by the Unity Party.
Don't you think this is coming from the former president as a way of he trying to vindicate himself indirectly? Since in fact there has been this accusation, a lot of people have been pointing accusing fingers at him as being the one who is orchestrating the removal of the speaker, because the speaker was being very influential. He was being very powerful in the party. In 2029, it's just, it may seem far away, but it's not too far. And that the speaker was trying to solidify his base. He was trying to create
let me
all of that ahead of 2029. Is there any reason to think that the president or the former president is trying to vindicate himself by making this particular comment?
So, Nelson, you're a journalist, and if you do a survey in Liberia, you'll find out to say at least 65% of those that consider themselves seditionists. First loyalty is to George Weah and not the CDC party.
Maybe we need to add Vasco and George as well.
Right? The loyalty of the vast majority of seditionists is in George Weah. It's not in their institution. You understand? So for anyone to think that, George Weah doing anything because you don't want competition, seditions gave the utmost respect to George Manuel Weah before any other person. He's the only person within that political party that when he speaks, seditions listen. Before George Weah conceded, there was talks within the CDC chat rooms that they needed to do whatever they can to secure the presidency. They were willing to risk everything. And we said, no, we didn't get the job done. I will concede. And I don't want anybody putting a foot out there.
So you don't see this. You don't see this as others are seeing it. You think the former president is not trying to vindicate himself. You think he spoke his mind. Do you also think that he's the right messenger for this message?
As per right messenger, no. But however, I want to commend him for not being quiet, for seizing the moment, because the Unity Party-led administration have made George Weah a hero.
I want to hold you there a bit.
This administration have made George Weah a hero because everything they said George Weah did bad, they are doing it, and even worse.
Okay, so let's hold you there and move to Francis a bit, because we have to make it another round. Francis, let's hear your take on this issue. Former President George Weah, he's speaking out on this issue again. This time around, he's blaming President Boakai. He's blaming the Unity Party administration. He's blaming this government for wanting to tamper with the fundamental pillar of our democracy. He thinks that this government should take a look back at April 12, 1980 and try to rethink the removal of the speaker. He thinks is being orchestrated by this administration. Where do you stand on this, Francis?
First of all, I would agree with Mo, but I think at one point he said George Weah is doing exactly what former President Weah is doing exactly what Unity Party was doing when he was in office. It's just what we do in our Liberian politics. When the president office, we just keep bad-mouthing them. Then when the president moves, we keep bad-mouthing them. First of all, that letter, George Weah did not write that stuff. George Weah didn't write it. George Weah don't go far back to think about what happened in history. Somebody wrote that thing and talk about the 1980 coup and all that stuff. George Weah didn't even know how to think about all of that. No disrespect to him. He just
No.
Honestly, I'm serious.
When Liberian may say all due respect or no disrespect, just know they make disrespect.
No, he didn't write it.
But listen. This is a president who has a master's degree.
I got 20 PhD.
You know, this is a president who has a master. You know, so I don't want us to go into that. He didn't write anything, yeah. You know, because this time AI can write things for people and all. So you know, and let's go into the message here, Francis. There are some who think that he's trying to vindicate himself. There are some who think that he's trying to vindicate himself from this allegation that he was behind or he has been behind the removal of Speaker Kofa. What do you think of that? What do you make of that?
Say all the time, George Weah to vindicate himself for what, or to get the forgiveness of the Liberian people.
Mm-hmm.
He should stop all the stuff he's doing and focus on doing something that Liberian people will remember come 2029. Yeah, no, he won't run again. Other countries, oppositions during the downtime when a new administration coming to office, they're working, they're campaigning still, even though it's not official campaign, they are doing things, meaningful things for the people, especially countries like Liberia that are suffering like that. As a former president, go and try to solidify your southeastern up, solidify your vote in the southeastern part of the country, doing something there for the people, all over the country. Even go to Nima, try to get a little vote for Nima. We know you can win Nima, but try to get a little vote for Nima by doing things, you know. But he's saying that whenever I talk about the army trying to move for Kofa, I can care less if he try to move for Kofa or not. But you can see a bunch of citizens join United Party to remove Speaker Kofa. The reason behind it, who knows? Because there's no here, no there, no real reason why they want to remove him. Nobody knows. They're not talking about anything different. So that one we'll just put aside. But that letter, you know, he talking about he want to vindicate himself, or he having the back of Fanadi Kofa and all that stuff. Where was he when this stuff started? He could have left wherever he was, call citizens together, come back, call the Saki boys under the tree, tell them, cut that thing out. Do not side with those people. They wouldn't have even gotten to 43 or 42 in the first place.
Thanks a lot, Francis. We're going to come back to you. This is serious. And Francis struck a very important point. And I want us to go make a round on this. Does the former president really have the back of Speaker Kofa, Councillor Kofa? And Moba, I want to start with you. Does former President George Weah, because I mean he's coming in very strong. He's coming in so strong on this one. Hitting so hard at the United Party, trying to establish the root cause of this whole situation up Capitol Hill and trying to, you know, ring that belt of consciousness, you know, for Liberians and the government and people that they should desist and all of that. Does he really have the back of Councillor Kofa, given how influential the former president is, and even taking a look at what's happening with the CDC, some of the CDC lawmakers being part of the majority black, and everything we've seen go on, despite series of press conferences from Jefferson Koji, from the chairman of the party, sending a warning to those lawmakers, even threatening to remove them, to expel them, Ava Jones and the likes of the other people, that they will remain in this fight for the removal of the speaker, which they someone may say they've done with the election of their own speaker. But do you think the former president has the back of the speaker in this thing?
Look, Nelson, how much George, the former president can control those lawmakers who make up their mind, who make, you know, like already say they want to take from Kofa out. But we can remember when this saga first started, the former president was out of the country. I mean, he was leaving the country by then. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were concerned. This happening to one of your officials, your party, the man in your party, and do everything in your party, and he's the third man in the country.
Yeah.
Why are you leaving the country? You know, why are you leaving the country?
The president had to celebrate his birthday. No, he had a lot to do.
Nelson, birthday count every year. We agree. He wants to celebrate his birthday. Okay. He went. After his birthday, probably, you know, I thought the situation was getting intensive. Everybody know. It was getting very hard. The pressure was too much all over. The president never talk about it. He never speak about it until people got to come on social media, try to blast at him, say maybe the president hand Isa, maybe the president did. People started guessing, and that was happening. That's what happens. If you take your side to come out to clear yourself, people will guess on you. That's what happens. So a lot of people started coming out that the former president here is behind the removal of Fernando Kofa. So for my stand, probably for my stand, probably I said it last time. I don't think that the former president here in the removal of Fernando Kofa. But probably
so you think he got the back of Councillor Kofa? He has his back.
Probably the way he behaved first, everybody and they were looking suspicious that his hand was behind the removal of Fernando Kofa because he never made no comments. There was nothing he was saying. He was, mute about inquire about the whole situation.
What do you make of the way he handled the issue? Now, you said he doesn't have a hand in it, but the way he handled the issue when he was interviewed with respect to the decision of Representative Thomas Fala, when the likes of Akaras Gray and other people were pushing for a very tough decision to be made against the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala. He came in to be very soft on that. You can't.
It's simple. Let me tell you the reason.
You gotta be. So those are things that led to a lot of other people's.
Let me conclude on that.
What was happening?
Okay, let me conclude on that. The reason why Georgia would never ever go hard on Thomas Fala and people that what is Sir Joseph? Georgia not just staying in Lofa. Georgia not look at Thomas Fala and say I expel you from the party. Or I suspend you from the party. All I know will be making all that noise, but Georgia the only man that will say yes or no to it. Because end of the day, Georgia want for Thomas Fala to go low far and campaign for him. And Thomas Fala, with Thomas Fala, Georgia can split the vote in low far.
I want to hold you there quickly and then move to Anthony. Anthony, what do you think is happening here? Does the former president have the back of the speaker? Does he have the speaker? The speaker was on this platform on an interview, and he said, look, if there's anybody who have a vote reserved for George Weah, that's my Sastan brother. He was asked, are you going to contest in 2029? He said, no. George Weah is contesting. A Sastan boy cannot contest against another Sastan boy. So he's my guy. We're from Sastan, and I can't go against my Sastan brother. My vote would be for George Weah come 2029. Those were the words of the speaker here on this platform. But Anthony, again, in the midst of everything that's happening here, I want to know from you, does the president, as influential as he is, the former president, does he have the back of the Councillor Kofa in this fight?
Well, no doubt. Most definitely he has the back. Look, I don't know, people overlooking the thing we call the speakership, right? Yeah, the chain of command said the vice president takes over after the president. The speaker, in terms of operations in government functions, has a more distinct role and powerful position than the vice president. If the joint section of the legislature meets, the speaker is the head. You understand? If our country should declare war or move the military to war, it's the signature of the speaker, not the signature of the vice president. A lot of things that the speaker can do that the vice president cannot do. It's a very strategic position in government. Look at the national budget. The three top people that got enough money in the government: the president, the vice president, the speaker. If I want to be a speaker, why should I want to be a president? We are seeing a lot of speakers who don't even think about Nancy Pelosi when she's in America.
Anthony, come to think about this, man. There are people who are down there. Today, they're still pushing up.
Let me just say this to you.
Everyone wants to upgrade as much as
Let me say this to you. With the way the CBC
position in the country,
I can't speak for all the political parties like this.
Most powerful position in the country. You still have the vice presidency. You still have the presidency up there.
Let me say this to you. The vice presidency is a ceremonial position and not like the speaker position. All right? The vice president can only add if there is a tie in the Senate and vote. That's it. Or else the vice president gets it and preside. That's it. Nothing else the vice president do. The speaker can initiate a bill of impeachment. Can the vice president initiate a bill of impeachment? No.
Do you think it was well calculated for the former president to have mentioned April 12, 1980 in that comment, mentioning the dark days, especially talking about what's happening now. Now you're going back to the dark days, talking about the war days, what happened during the war, and what the United Party is doing. Do you think it was prudent? Was it
very necessary?
Think there was a motive for that?
Yes, very necessary. And guess what? When you have the president of the Republic of Liberia silent on the whole issue, then when General Aski in Sierra Leone, he said it's a normal business practices at the legislature. Is that normal business practice? The Constitution is under attack. Our sovereignty is under attack. And the father of the nation, the commander-in-chief, snubbing that concern and saying it's a normal business practice. Nothing. We ought to get serious here. And let me correct something here tonight. The Supreme Court said return to status quo, meaning everything that they did on Thursday is null and void. Whatever place they were before the decision they took by electing that speaker, all that different thing, then what they should return to. Because their action was unconstitutional. The reason why the Supreme Court now is involved, and people say, oh, there are three separate branches of government, they are independent. That's true. But Article 26 clearly states, if you feel that your right has been violated, infringed upon, any person or government official, you shall get the court involved. In this particular circumstances, Speaker Kofa right have been infringed upon.
That
is the reason why Article 26 has been invoked, and the Supreme Court honored it. The Supreme Court did. We got
this is interesting. This is very interesting.
Then the Supreme Court had
I want to
nothing
hold
do
you
that.
there a bit. I want to hold you there a bit, Anthony. This is very interesting. It may not be the case of just another person's right being violated here. It is a case of one branch of government having issue and then running to another branch of government. Something which we're going to come to. We're going to end up this conversation there tonight. And that other branch of government being cognizant of the fact that all three branches of government are supposed to work, perform their duty, execute their roles, void of the interference of any other branch of government, is being very careful how to go about this issue. And that's why tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day up Capitol Hill, where you have all the three branches of government seated right on Capitol Hill, facing each other, and the other one behind the other one. It's going to be a very interesting day up Capitol Hill there. But I want to move to
before we move, Nelson, we are on the national radio, and I'm not allowed to
Francis.
Before we move to Francis.
What is it?
No, hold on. Before we move to Francis,
I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you.
No. Hold on. We are on a national radio.
Mm-hmm.
Article 26.
So what's your point?
No, hold on. Article 26 is very vital in this particular circumstances. And I'm laying this emphasis on Article 26 because you just said another branch of government should not interfere. The Supreme Court did not interfere.
I'm saying. No. Listen. I know Anthony is a disruptor. Anthony will want to disrupt. He came on the show purposely to disrupt. That's why he came first. He was the first man to appear on the show tonight. And we understand that he has gone in the back end and negotiate with Mobile to be the next ANC guy in line. We know all of these things are happening here. So we're not allow you to kind of hijack the show while Francis is sitting here. No. Go ahead and make your point. We're not going to allow Anthony to hijack the show and just disrupt here because he have succeeded in winning Mobile over.
First of all, my brother Anthony spoke for over 10 minutes, but did not even address the question I was asked. That's the problem when you don't pay attention to the question. The question was about...
President, I didn't even speak for 3 minutes. My clock here.
Bro, your clock broken. But anyway, you you didn't even address the question. Does former President Weah have the back of Speaker Kofa? You jump straight to how powerful the speaker is, this, that, and the other. I mean, for me, just a point in the limit, I can care if you have the back of Speaker Kofa or not. Because right now, the most important thing here is the work of the Liberian people is not getting done. This is politics. So what if President Waka is behind it? So what? It's politics. That's why they vote for speaker. Every party put their candidate. The ruling party wants their candidate to be speaker and things like that. This is politics. But the focus here should be on Liberian people. The work is not getting done. Even if they put Richard Cohen, I'm sorry, Richard Cohen should have some shame. To go through that shame charade of calling election, and now they rush him into a car speaker. Our country needs serious deliverance. Serious deliverance. Because the people that they send up there, they got issue. So like I can care like if Judge Weah got the back of Fernando Kofa or not. They need to get this thing done and over with and go back to doing nothing like they always do. Because nothing is going to change. The most important thing, they talk about audit, and their friends say, oh, maybe Speaker Kofa want to audit the legislature. He doesn't want to audit the legislature. There are no, he keep on spewing, he starts spilling the beans. How the other people that go in hotel room and tell the finance minister there, put extra 20 million here and give me the extra from on top. Then the people start talking about how he spent this X amount of dollars. Do you know the type of mess that's about to go on if they even audit that place? But we all know what happened to Liberia. All investigation, all audit go into a trash bag. Have we heard anything about the outcome of the Senate audit that was conducted? Nothing. We don't know what happened to the Senate audit. And President Waka.
The Senate is yet to be audited. The Senate is yet to be audited.
Did they do an audit of the Senate?
No. What they did was there was a committee set up to probe the alleged altering of the budget. You know, all of those different stuff they did. They came up with their report on that, but the actual auditing of the Senate is part of the resolution from the Bassa retreat that's expected to take place periodically.
Just to wrap up on this, Nelson, just to wrap up on this, they need to cut this crap out and go back to pretending to be working. Because we know nothing is going to change. There will not be this divine intervention by the time they move Speaker Kofa there and they put the new speaker, then we'll just see this seismic change in the country. No, that's not going to happen. The same flaw will continue to happen on our Capitol Hill.
You know, I want to hold you guys there a bit, and then let's move into the government a little bit. Let's move in. I want us to have a listen to this. When Matthew Yemplu. Now, this is very important. We haven't touched on this before. We haven't discussed this issue since it started, but most of you know the Nico Test Scholarship came up. Matthew Yemplu being an assistant minister at the for information services at the Ministry of Information, decided to speak out on this issue. He called on Liberians not to invest a dime into the Nico Test Scholarship. Well, he's an assistant minister, and then that triggered his suspension. And then following his suspension, he decided to resign, and then he resigned. Yeah, others there were mixed views on his action, talking about speaking out against the government or against what was happening in the Nico Test Scholarship since it was government activity. Others thought that it wasn't prudent since he was an assistant minister. Why others thought that it was just the right thing to do because he's a Liberian, he needs to speak out, he needs to be patriotic, a whistleblower or whatever. But he's out of the country now, and he's spilling the beans. And he appeared on the show with Judas Jet today, and he said a whole lot. I want to play just two of the clips, and then let's make some analysis around here. This is the first one.
Only in the position and covering your tracks. For example, I'll just point out very quickly, sharing money to ministers in the early days. Sharing cash to ministers in the early days.
What does that mean when you say sharing cash? What does that mean?
I'll tell you. I wrote down 5 occasions where finance came to my office with money in envelope and telling me, say, minister, say you want everybody to get something. I would say the 1 year, the 4th occasion that we received money that was not our salary was the surfing competition situation. There was $100,000 instruction came from the executive management that should be given to the people who were conducting the surfing competition, came coming from Mika Budge at how they got the place. It happened in Cape now. Okay. I don't know whether the money that we received or that we were saving and sharing, that money came from the surfing competition, but my suspicion is that basically where it came from. So it was around the time that we were having the first cabinet retreat. So I'll just give you a vivid description of what happened. On the first day of the cabinet retreat, it was the day that the surfing competition was being launched. So Minister Pia was not there at the launch. The second day, he came the second day, but at the end of the second day, there was some, like, I don't know, $5,000. Yeah, I remember that. It was Daniel Sando who basically had that money, I think. So they gave $100,000 to, $100,000 was given to, what they call it, for the saving surfing competition. I think we managed
$100,000 US dollars?
back. Yes, $100,000 US dollars was given from the government to war surfing competition. And Mika managed to get $5,000 out of that money that's supposed to be for media coverage of that. Yeah. So we are sitting there after the second day of the by Minister Daniel Sando after he became a Minister of Public Affairs, is that Mohakolo Brigade. Get people, I think maybe those people now are managed by Minister Sando to about 25 people. And
what do you mean by Color Brigade?
Color Brigade, that's a strategy of Minister Sando as Minister of Public Affairs. Color Brigade, that is how people in the public who are calling on the radio station, inundating the various radio station will call and saying that the government is doing well, saying that the government is doing well, even if the government, so that people that are involved. So we got about 25 people that make us supposed to be paying. And Maureen Moses Mungai, someone wanted them to be doing it. And maybe they're receiving money for that, but I don't know. But I go to the substantive. $50. So my question is, on this occasion, was that if you have junior ministers or young people who have not worked in government before, and they come in government, and you sit down like we were doing, you sit down with us like we were doing, the second day after the cabinet retreat, and we are sitting in that darkness and sharing money and saying that I want to pay myself for other people who are not at that meeting. I want to pay myself.
No, this is where we are, folks. So, Matthew Yemtu is out of the country, but now he's speaking out. He's saying they've been sharing money. 5 different occasions. Okay, so let's put it this way. Under the CDC administration, at the time we were, on the morning show and stuff like that, there were regular callers. No matter how you do it. And sometimes we used to be thinking how the guy used to make it through the line. Because you have a show where the line is hard, some strange people, some new people are trying to call, but those guys will always make their way through the lines. They call themselves at the time the CDC Response and Defense Team. Today, the assistant minister is saying that they have a color brigade. And they're paying them. Well, there were allegations that the CDC was paying the CDC Response and Defense Team. At the end of at some point, when the government won, the Response and Defense Team felt disenchanted. They felt they were being disrespected by the administration. At the latter stage of the administration, around the campaign time, the president then decided to, visit his boys. Then he purchased a brand new pickup for the CDC Response and Defense Team. What happened to the pickup after the CDC lost the election is history. We'll talk about that another day. But this is where we are. Under this administration, the assistant minister is saying that they had a color brigade and they pay about 25 people every month to call on whichever show and always say that this government is doing well, the government is performing, everything is going well. In fact, there is gold all over paved on the streets. He said they were sharing money in the dark. That surfing tournament, that's a part of very interesting for me in the whole thing. The surfing tournament that we took our team, went to Grand Cape Mount, interviewing the people on that beach, bought our own gas, use our own resources. The man said they had 100,000. Mika have 5,000 for media coverage and all of that. But look, and again, the questions remain: why is he speaking out now? And there are just so many concerns coming out. What's the authenticity of the information provided here? Is there any reason why Liberians should believe what Matthew Yemplu is saying? Is he speaking out? Even the circumstances surrounding his dismissal and all of that. Was it prudent for him to have done what he did that resulted to where we are now with respect to his suspension and then his resignation and then he's in exile like Ellis Williams? Now he's speaking out. Let's hear you guys. Starting with you, Moba.
Yeah, thinking that look, that's why I would say government. Look, Nelson, these things will keep happening. Corruption will keep happening. Imagine you going, because look, let's say if somebody give you money cash, there's no trace for that. Somebody going to take huge amount of money and can't give it. There's no document. There's no paper. So even when people talk about let's investigate the entire matter, how will you investigate? How you get a trace? Like, what's the paper trace? Where is it? Where's the receipt? So I think, Nelson, the whole issue here, right, it will keep happening. Taking money, giving it to people to defend you, which of course you're doing anything. That is wrong. Why? You can just do the right thing and let the people hail you. Let the people call naturally and say, our president doing well. Instead of you giving them money. And even people suffering, people children are going to school. There's no job in the country. But the same thing the CDC was doing. That's the same thing. So what the president will come here every day and we'll be preaching for Joseph Bagat government. I would tell people we are not which one of what I want to use. We are not people who just beyond people, whatever they do, we say yes sir. That majority of the decision was doing. We're not. We're there for the Liberian people. It's only going wrong, we say. So I think the same thing CDC did, that's what they're doing. But giving people money.
Let's look at the messenger a bit. What do you make of the messenger?
Let me say this, right? It happened to every government. When any government will feature in power, a lot of things going on, they will never say it. They will be part of that identical thing. They will be part of that corruption. The money will come, they will share, they will enjoy all of them. They will not say they want it. But then, if they're about to get fired or probably resign, right? And then they'll go behind the cluster and try to bring all what happened there. And that is wrong. If you know that what is happening, it is wrong. What you need to do, you come on the media like where that brother did from Triple RLC. The man was there, but he came out. He speak. He said it too. He get evidence. That's the type of people who talk about patriot. And people will just sit down when they fire them before they talk. What he saying? So he probably part of that identical group.
But again, I wanted to get it clear. Matthew Yemplu did not hold back. He said he took some of the money.
That's what I'm telling you. Why he never said it when he was there?
They shared the money in the dark room, in the very dark room, no light. In the
how
dark
you know that?
room.
So I might know the amount. Send the play was dark. Because you got to see something before you know the amount. But he said dark room, man. Let me conclude. So my point here is, Nelson, when half of the people they in power, they do the same, right? CDC did it. Now the United Party people doing it, and in the hand and behind the United Party people, that the same people who were on social media yesterday saying that what CDC did or was doing, it was wrong. But today, they're still doing the same thing. We are just, bro, just remain like bro until judgment day, nothing will change.
Anthony, let's say your take on this particular issue. Is the problem with Liberia the government, or is it with the people? Is it with the system? I mean, what's your take on this issue, given everything that's unfolding here?
How many minutes do I have to speak on this issue?
Okay, you have 2 minutes.
All right, please do not interrupt me. If you have a follow-up question, please hold on. Then when I finish, you can
No, Anthony, I'm the moderator.
Do me a favor, Nelson,
No, listen.
No,
Anthony.
Nelson, do me a favor.
We should engage. All right?
You can ask your question, or Okay, go to Francis. I forfeit my 2 minutes. I'll just look at you on the show.
Oh, you
How about
forfeit your
that?
2
Does that
minutes?
make you happy?
Come on. We need to
Anthony, that's
engage.
ridiculous.
Give me 2 minutes. Let me use
The
for 2
moderator
minutes.
can ask you questions.
Anthony,
When the
Anthony,
thing is,
He
it's
can
a
ask me questions when
presentation.
I'm done with my 2
It's
minutes.
not a presentation, man. They make it ask you
I'm
questions.
not.
You can continue.
Francis,
Guys,
I know
guys,
the difference
guys,
between presentation. I have 2 minutes. I should
guys.
use my 2 minutes.
You have 2 minutes, and
Am I being
again, in
interviewed
the midst
here?
of the
No,
2
I'm not being
minutes,
interviewed.
in the midst of
I'm
the
a
2
panelist.
minutes, we can
So
It's
let me
engage.
make my
show.
point on my 2
In the
minutes.
midst of the 2 minutes, we can engage. It's a
No, you
conversation.
can ask me a question or follow-up question when I'm done with my 2 minutes.
No, but Anthony, that's not
When-
how we do.
Yes.
We have to engage.
Nelson, the
We
making
have
have
to
to
engage,
you
but
watch
allow me
out.
to
Then
use my
you
2 minutes.
just
You
watch
ask the
other
question.
people speak.
Anthony, your
Francis,
2
you're not the
minutes is
moderator.
not going.
Francis, you are not the
You use
moderator.
30 seconds. You use 30 seconds of
All
your
right,
2
so
minutes.
let's do this.
And you
Put the
could have
clock
been
on.
using it to make your
Put the
input.
clock on. So when I make my point, and when you ask me a question, you stop the clock. When you ask me a question, you stop the clock. Oh yeah, let's
Come
keep
on,
it.
Anthony. Go ahead.
No,
Make
manage
it.
it. No, manage it.
Ask me a question, you stop the clock. Yeah, you won't leave. You leave.
They are telling me too funny.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
sorry, God.
yeah, you ask me a question, you can't be eating my
Look,
time.
my man. That kind
You
of
just did
thing
something
that
to me
make
here because you have the
your-
microphone, you have the bulletproof it, and you
My
cut me
man,
off. That's
listen,
fine. I'm
listen,
not gonna
Anthony,
argue. I
Anthony,
ask you how many minutes I get.
Anthony,
2 minutes.
Anthony.
I'm
Okay,
just
no,
letting you know.
you got 2 minutes. You get 1 minute now. Go ahead. Go ahead for the
No,
1 minute.
you took
Make
my
your point.
time.
No,
You
no,
took my
make
time.
your point for the 1 minute. Make your point.
Good.
Let's hear you.
Good. So here's my point. The Supreme Court ruled that the action of the majority of black was not involved.
No, Anthony.
No, but not the
Anthony,
topic.
Anthony, we don't pass the
That's my
majority.
1 minute I'm using. That's my 1
No,
minute I'm
no,
using.
no,
hey,
Anthony.
my man, don't do that.
I use my 1 minute. You stop, man. You stop doing this.
No, Anthony. This is a show we're running. When we
Let me get to the point.
We're not
only
going
use 10
back
seconds
there.
of my 1
We
minute.
want the conversation relative to the clip we just played.
Yes, but I'm gonna make my
we have-
point. I'm gonna make my point.
Yeah, but let the point be in the confines of our discussion
Okay,
at
but
this point.
I just
Anthony?
want to make that clear because you didn't give me the chance, so I had the chance to do it. I got to make my point, right?
Okay,
So here's
45
the thing.
seconds. Go ahead.
We do what?
45 seconds now. Go ahead.
Good. We do have laws on the book, but the law on the book itself will not function if we don't have implementer and we don't have people to uphold the law, just like we have the Constitution now. Nothing. Think about a society without police officer. Think about a society without rules and regulations, right? It will be very chaotic. That's the reason why we have it. Liberia have good laws on the book. It's just because people have refused to follow the rules and regulations, and the level of impunity in our country have made things the way it is. Right now, you see what happened in Capitol Hill? People seeing the Constitution and trying to bend it their own way. So tomorrow we'll see the reality that those of us that are on the side of the Constitution will be vindicated.
Anthony, again, you just took us back from where we were, you know.
I just told you. Maybe you don't
we're
like
on
my
a
answer.
whole different conversation now. We shouldn't be going back. When we progress,
I just
let's
told
keep
you
making
people don't follow
progress.
the rules and regulations.
but-
What else you want me to say?
But let's hear you on this one, Francis. Let's hear your take. Francis, you want to adjust your camera a bit? Yeah, you're a little bit far away. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, you know, I appreciate our brother for speaking out. But one thing I would say, his initial action when he first appeared on Spoon, that was unprofessional. I know he tried to premise it by saying he's not speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Information, he's speaking as a Liberian, but that's unprofessional. He shouldn't have done that. There are processes he should have followed to make that issue. But I appreciate him though for saying those things, because the Liberian people don't get to know all of these things that happen when people shut up in their in higher position in the administration. In any administration, Liberian people don't get to know anything.
Okay, but let's put it this way, Francis. Let's put it this way. Let's start from the initial action.
Yeah.
Do you think it was prudent for him to have spoken out the way he did, which led to his suspension?
Right. That's why I said that was unprofessional. As someone who's worked in a professional environment before, there are things you don't like. But you don't come out, I will not come out and say, oh, I'm not speaking as a director of this place. I'm speaking as a private person. No, you're not private citizen. You are deputy minister. there's nothing you will say that will be private because you have first-hand information of what's going on. So that was a problem, you know. So he shouldn't have done that, but I still appreciate him for what he did, because there were a lot of important information that nobody was going to know. Jeremy Pierre or whatever his name is was just sweeping it under the rug. And look at how he threatened the guy. Oh, this will cost you your job. Yeah, it did cost him his job. And yes, deservingly so, because he shouldn't have done what he did. But on the other hand, I still appreciate him for spilling the beans to the Liberian people. Then that audio. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The audio. Like most of our brothers and sisters in the comment section are saying, the brother took the money. He took the money too. He ate it, he spent it, he did whatever he wanted to do with it. This is where the Liberian people were in trouble. All of our so-called hero, whether he's being hailed as a hero, they are always hero after the fact. After the fact. You know, if he wanted to be a real hero, take that money, record the behavior, resign, and put it out there and say, like, yeah, money out. But he spent it however he wanted to spend it. He enjoyed himself. If he was not going to be terminated, the Liberian people wouldn't have heard anything about what's going on. You see? So I was a blower there. Then I was a blower. The opportunist. If you get rid of me, I'll spill the bean. But so long you keep me, all the shady deal will remain undercover.
Anthony, sorry, not Anthony, but how do you call him? Francis. Professionally, is this a plus for the brother or a minus? Speaking out the way he did, is this a plus? Well, even folks at the international level see him as someone who is very reliable, very upfront, very upright. Let me put it that way. Someone they can confide in, someone they can work with. Is this a plus? Or is it a minus for him in a sense where, yeah, let me hear you on that point just before we
transition. This guy was in the he was in the administration when they first put up police boot over there and they said I'm going to bring 2,000 more, right? And it did not happen. He said nothing about it. He was in the administration when they talk about Grisby and getting 500,000 to buy a car for inauguration. They can find a car and he said nothing about it. He been in the administration as a deputy minister of information, where the LACC said over 60% of the administration right now, folks in the administration right now have not declared an asset, right? He said nothing. All of the things that are going on, and they are the propaganda wing of the government, and he's supposed to be fixing things for the government, right? Lying on behalf of the government, which is not good though. But now that he got fired, he's running around saying everything. Where was he when all of these mishaps were going on and he didn't speak? Because he was there collecting that money there behind the closed door that he's talking about right now. That's
this is very important. I want us to end up with this Capitol Hill thing. Your prediction. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think tomorrow is going to be like? I want us to make some analysis around this, given everything we saw in last week, at the end of last week, everything that unfolded over the weekend, the court process. Councilor Kofa did a post as well. I don't know if I have the post saved somewhere here, and he did a post. Well, the case is in court right now. The court process is on. They're expected to. It is expected that the Supreme Court will be looking into this particular issue tomorrow. The Justice Minister is being requested there as well, and in the midst. But we're also hearing some activities scheduled for Wednesday as well. But on the overall, let's make some analysis on the day tomorrow itself. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? And in the midst of everything we're seeing here at the level of the House of Representatives, where do you think the victory is going to last? Is going to fall at the end of the day? Councillor Kofa did say that it's going to be either a win, draw, or a lose. But whichever way, once it comes from the Supreme Court, he's going to accept it. That's how
Yeah,
we know it's going to go.
yeah. Thank you, Nelson. Look, I think this my prediction for tomorrow, the Supreme Court, right, will tell the, like it will be the same story. Y'all go back, y'all carry on due process because that's what the law says. We shouldn't go against the Constitution because we are not telling you who you should vote for or who you should not vote for or who you want to make your speaker. That's not our business. The only business we get in the matter is to guard the Constitution and to go by the rule of law. So my prediction, my own prediction tomorrow, the Supreme Court will send it back. General guys, yeah, y'all go back, y'all go do it the right way. All of that, I don't see anything, but again, the majority black, let me say this, Nelson, let me conclude on this. Majority black will not agree to it. They will still stand their ground, and for them to go out, stand their ground. Watch my word, that's what I say. And that's what
and more just a step further. If the majority black doesn't agree with what the Supreme Court says, what then do you think is going to happen in there?
It's still going to be holding putting because for them to go out and resign. And
then if he doesn't resign and the majority black doesn't accept the ruling from the Supreme Court,
where the noise will come from again? Now they're telling him to stand over all the speaker property, right? All the things that belongs to him as a speaker. And he has
but he has up to Thursday to do
but listen, I agree to I say what you have next week, you have tomorrow. My thing is he will not agree to that. That's where the war will come. That's where you see.
Don't use that all word.
It will be a chaos. Because
my people,
I mean, the speaker, the fanatic over under supporter will not sit and look and watch that happen. So,
remove fanatic over.
Thank you, Anthony. Let's hear your own analysis about what may unfold. Given the situation, everything we've seen unfold from last week up to now, and tomorrow being a very crucial day ahead.
So tomorrow, the chief prosecutor of the nation, the attorney general, will interpret the law tomorrow between the two parties. He's not there to tell. He's not there to tell who to vote for, who not to vote for. If the majority bloc have the 49 to turn majority, they can execute that process tomorrow. Done deal. Whatever they did on Thursday, like Bremen said, that vla is null and void. That's what the chief prosecutor of the country, attorney general, will be over there tomorrow.
So, but again, Anthony, I want to ask you this question: where do you think his interpretation is going to lead this particular thing? Is it going to lean on the side or in favor of Councillor Kofa? Is it going to lean in the favor of the majority black?
So,
I mean, I know you're not general, giving your own analysis. Yeah, we are liberty to make analysis around this issue.
So, constitutionally speaking, the Supreme Court, the Justice Ministry, and every other government official, elected or appointed, raise up their right hand to uphold, defend, and protect the Constitution of Liberia. So help me God. And my prediction that very Justice Minister, or the Attorney General, not the Justice Minister, I'm sorry, but the Attorney General of Liberia, which is the Chief Prosecutor, will uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. It is the supreme law of the land. Nothing else, and nothing more, nothing less. That will be my prediction. Because right now, this is no longer a political.
Let me interrupt you a bit.
Come in.
He's a legal practitioner, very seasoned, a legal person. This we're seeing unfold before us here is a legal political issue.
Yes.
To some extent, it is more political than legal. Because where this entire thing is unfolding happens to be the biggest political theater in the country, where the numbers cut the cards. The numbers determine what happens there.
Yes.
All right. So using the political lens and also
Yes.
using the legal lens to make analysis around this thing, given that the Solicitor General is going to be appearing. Again, Anthony, I'll ask you this question. Where do you think this is going to fall at the end of the day?
So where we are right now, it has become a legal matter, unless political matter. Why? The majority black does not have the magic number 49. If they had it, we wouldn't have been here to begin with. This thing would have been a done deal. Case closed. But because they do not have the magic number 49, that's why they never put it into vote. A resolution cannot take effect unless it's voted upon. A resolution does not take effect unless voted upon. Just by signing a resolution does not automatically remove a person. When you sign the resolution, that's the initiation. The process starts there. That resolution should be brought on the floor, adopted, deliberated upon, voted upon, secure a 49 votes. Then the speaker is removed.
Thank you.
We did not see that happening.
Thank you. Francis, let's hear your take on this issue. Your analysis around what you think will probably happen tomorrow.
The Liberian people will continue to suffer as of tomorrow. And what's going to happen? Because when PK say they're playing fun, that what our two provincial government can do. They'll be playing fun. Something as serious as this, where even when the budget passed, the Liberian people can still suffer. Then we got people then fighting between among themselves with no goal inside. So there'll be no resolution tomorrow. They will continue to fight. The Supreme Court will do nothing because the Supreme Court can do nothing to those people. So what will the Supreme Court do? Order their arrest? No, the Supreme Court can't arrest them. They're not doing anything illegal. They may be foolish for what they're doing, but it's not illegal. They're just suffering Liberian people. So, I mean, nothing. I'm just sick of this whole thing that's going on. I don't have any, and honestly, I'm tired of even listening to, every time I listen to the news, watch these shows, I just get tired of the whole thing.
The House of
Representatives. Exhausting. That's the thing. It's exhausting, right? Because nothing benefits the Liberian people.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. It's been a great show. It's been another great one. Tomorrow will be that day that Liberians will be looking forward to seeing what the Supreme Court will do. Especially now that
it's right. I'm giving you compliments.
And that compliment minute and the black administration that are parading the street, the yellow machine, they get
it's
a plan.
Especially given where we are. Okay, so let's take 1 minute across the table to just do our closing. Starting with you, Francis.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, folks, it's good to be here. I'll be on and off. But outside of this whole read my role with the dishonorable people on Capitol Hill, I mean, one, I'll continue to tell Liberian people, thank you. You did not make a mistake by removing the CDC administration. You did the right thing, but I would just apologize for the fact that some of our contributed to bringing this administration on you guys. So now our brother Vasco talk about calamity. It is true calamity. Because this president, he doesn't have the will to lead this country. I'm one that used to sit here and say, oh, this person's going to be like the Nelson Mandela of South Africa, who when he came out of prison, he took over South Africa for 1 term, even though the South Africans wanted him to go for a 2nd term. But the Bible said, I'm just going to fix things, set the foundation, but saying all the people Gary and fix it. And I want exactly what I thought President Barker was about to do. But saying everybody Gary, everybody be mad. And he know that grumpy old man, like your grandpa, he is snuff and he grumpy. But he's doing the right thing. You're best. But he said, you will thank me later. I thought that's exactly what President Barker was about to do. But it proved that this president is not capable. You know, there are some people who, when you get a task to perform, they can do it good. They can do it well. Maybe that's what President Barker did when he was in government all those years. They said, oh, go to this place, do this job. But he's not a supervisor. He's not a leader. He has a bunch of people around him that are crooks, but he doesn't have the leadership ability to put his foot down so that these people can shake in their boots when they hear him speak. But nothing's going to change. We apologize for the next 6 years. Hopefully, we can find another candidate.
No. You should be apologizing because there are some of the people who don't apologize. There are some of the people who are so optimistic.
If I even convince one person to vote for President Barker, I apologize.
You know,
and I hope he can make me shame by turning this thing around. But for now, I apologize to people. Anybody that convinced to vote for President Barker, I apologize to you.
Thanks a lot, Francis. Anthony, take your 1 minute. Let's hear you quickly.
Look, Francis, I want to agree with you, my brother. We are closing. I look at the scorecard. The CDC administration passed 14 items. This administration passed 11. Liberia failed under the rule of law. We failed. This administration failed. That's serious. Like Francis said, even though I did not support JMB, but it was good that the Liberian people removed Josh Weah. It was good.
Why?
Because he didn't care. The way he's speaking out now, he did not speak out at the time. He didn't care.
Thank you,
He as much as I commend him walking down there tomorrow, and I want people to join him to walk because of the democracy of Liberia, he's not the right messenger.
Who is the right messenger?
The right messenger for Liberia are the Liberian people. And those political leaders who have not had the opportunity to lead Liberia.
I knew you were going to put Mr. Cummings in this thing. CDC, I knew you were driving towards Mr. Cummings.
Yes, no problem.
Because when I asked you who is the right messenger, you try to
but listen here. CDC.
Later you coming back to say
and Unity Party.
Later you came back to say there are political leaders who have not had the opportunity. And Mr. Cummings,
Unity Party had 12 years. They blunder. In the words of former Vice President Boakai, they squander opportunities. All right. Now, this administration came into office. One thing after, how can you come and want to scam your own citizen out of scholarship? Does it make sense to spend $25 million for 250 students instead of 10,000 or 15,000 students? Does that make any mathematical sense?
Thank you.
So Nelson,
let's hold you there, Anthony.
I want to thank you for having me on the show. And tomorrow, the Boakai administration will be machine. The yellow machines debacle just started. Good night, guys.
Thank you to our listener. Look, until the government can do the right thing, I'm not supporting it no more. I'll come here. I'll wait.
Look, we have to investigate what exactly Anthony did to you over the weekend.
Anthony did nothing to me.
No, we have to investigate.
Don't even
because you guys must have spoken relatively. I know what Anthony can do. When Anthony called you Sultan, over 1 weekend, I know what Anthony did to me. He almost convinced me into something. Look, Anthony must have called you over the weekend. Just because of that, it takes 30 seconds, just 30 seconds to do your closing, you're done.
Sometimes I can really miss Charles Taylor. I can miss that man to the extent I say if that man was in leadership from the time I was small to now, that bro be looking at America. Because I may not say nonsense.
How old were you when you was in leadership?
My man, the president was in like we used to be running to like we used to be
No, I
running
said, how old were you? How old were you at the time?
My man, I could remember I was big. Let's do that one. Let's go to the main topic.
Our peak that not age. Our peak that not age. Because I want to know.
My man, Anthony, I know you shaking your head, but that's the fact.
Guys,
we need president who will be.
I want to know the version of MOBA. The version of MOBA.
My man, when I okay, at that time,
in the version of MOBA that saw the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf,
our 10, Nelson, at that time, I was 10 to around 10 to 11 years.
You were 10, 11 years. But you were not capacitated enough to read between the lines to make decisions. So let's give you a 20 seconds.
Is it us speaking? You say you don't know? I beg you, man. But let me go to the topic. Right? Let me do my closing. If we get somebody, a president who can look at ministers, right? If they do something to the country or to the people and take a stand and fire them and prosecute them, right? And then start putting things in Gary that my brother said, who are against the government, then we will come there and say, yeah, the president doing good. But when I come there, all the entire agency in the country are corrupt. They're just stealing money. Although the president knows about everything. But someone here, whistleblower there now, he firing them. That's the point. I think he got to stand on his feet. Other than that, next day I will come every day, I will speak to the power. End of the day, before election time, someone will make a stand. But for now, my stand, I will be pushing for Alexander. Because we won't try Alexander come here. We don't know strength. We're not trying here. We'll be trying people. But man, look at me, I'm saying the fact.
You guys are very interested.
You can't be this can't be giving our according to one person says here. 4 years destroy our country. No, 1 year, I mean 6 years after 6 years.
The whole year went in flat. Show me one thing
after 6 years, you do the Labrador people thing, we tell you off. That's it. The Labrador people now get sense. Who can be kill somebody for 2 years? 2 years, so 2 years you born your child. 2 years, you know what happened? 2 years, you born your child. You tell us we here for that thing. We don't here for that thing. If you get set the foundation for the Liberian people, then no need. You will not come here and be praising you negative. We praise you. I mean, or positive way rather. We say the truth to power.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Moba. But you know what amazes me the most is Moba. You know, it hard to say. Moba, so you say from today you'll be for Mr. Kumis? Is that what you say, Moba?
My man,
you Moba who campaign according to you mobilize.
Right?
You mobilize.
You never call me out of the group chat because you're not convincing me for comments, bro. So that I think I do the Moba and do it. Don't call me off the
let me say this question. What is your goal for
Liberia? I see a normal call idea.
Let me ask you this question first of all.
Guys, we have to go.
What is your goal for Liberia? What do you hope for Liberia?
They see everybody hope for a better Liberia where the average man can live a better life, can fend for their family, send their children to school. They don't have to beg anybody for anything. They have opportunity to do
so what is coming offering that is not a better Liberia?
Cummings is for me. I believe in people that stand by that word. The fact that he did that stuff and lied. Why he said he will support the runner-up, the person that called against George in the second round.
And he came by, he didn't do it.
He changed his mind.
He said El Green Pine.
Exactly. I can never support him. I can never support him. I'm going to look at Clarence Maluba.
Just say you want Baka.
I'm going to look at.
Let's do this, right? We have to go. I want to say thanks to everyone. It's been a great show. We want to say congratulations to our one of our panelists, our dear sister, Steam Bongi. She gave birth over the weekend. Was it over the weekend? On Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday, or one of them. But it was over the weekend.
It was a May week.
Oh, during the May week. Yeah. So want to say congratulations to Steam. She, you know, we don't have
baby boy.
We don't have the authority to post the but Steam gave birth on last week. on the weekend or sometime last week. I want to say congratulations to Steam, yeah, for a safe delivery. And yes, for some reason the photo not coming up. Oh, it's like she gets some CIA thing. But our brother Alfred Konowap wants us to do this for his wife. She celebrated her birthday. Um, she celebrated her birthday on the 23rd. Um, Alfred Konowa says is saying happy birthday to his wife, which is Evelyn Konowa. They're there in the Iowa area. He's saying happy belated birthday to her. She's
Brother, love.
a year older. Alfred is wishing his wife all the best as she celebrates her another year of existence. Yes, and he sent a very strong message, for me to read, but I'm thinking, but he's saying that she's been the boom by his side, you know, the pillow that holds him up, all kind of messages that the boss sent. But Mr. Konowa is saying happy birthday to you, Mrs. Konowa. We wish you all the best as you celebrate your later day. And this is how I would like to end up. Thanks to you, Francis, for being on here tonight. Thanks to you, Moba, and thanks to our audience for following this edition of the program. Till we come back, have a good night, everyone, and bye bye for now.